Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to our next live episode of Season's Sunflower Hour. I am so pumped for tonight's show. So everyone that is joining us, if you are new to the family, welcome. I hope you stick around. I hope you love this as much as we love putting it on for you. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, that follow button, the like button, just like all of the buttons. I don't even know what they are anymore, but hit all of them because we want you to stay up to date on all the amazing things that are happening and all the great updates we have from ALS United Illinois. If you are returning to the show, thank you so much. We are so happy to have you. I hope everyone is having an amazing almost summer. I just heard that the actual date of the official beginning of summer is coming up later this month, which is crazy to me because, guys, come on, it's like June already, just feels like summer. So I hope you're having an almost official amazing summer. And speaking of that, we are just going to dive straight into this tonight because we have an incredible guest and I don't want to waste any more time. But in the honor of summer, if you guys are grilling out, if you guys are hitting the grocery store, getting all your favorite things, burgers, brats, sausages, all of that, you are going to love tonight's episode because I'm just going to go ahead and dub tonight's show the Sausage Show. It is, I know, it sounds a little crazy. There's going to be a weird meme of that somewhere on the internet later, but this show tonight is going to be all things sausage. It is going to be so amazing. So without further ado, I want to get straight to our first guest. He's incredible. Tonight's guest has turned a family tradition of friendship and community into a powerful force for ALS awareness and fundraising. Now, what started as a family recipe that's been passed down through generations has sparked a love for sausages that has spread so far and so wide. Dan's grandfather, Dante, spent decades perfecting his famous Italian sausage recipe. It's one that Dan would soon come to master. Now, rightfully so, this family tradition grew into something so much bigger. In 2008, a handful of friends came together in Dan's garage to make, you guessed it, sausages. These friends could have never imagined what the first Sausage Fest would turn into. Now, as the group grew, so did the pounds of sausages made and consumed. Now, every March, Dan's sausage warriors come together for a cause. That cause, ALS. Now, after a close friend and fellow Sausage Fest enthusiast passed away from ALS, the event took on a whole new meaning. Today, the Sausage Fest is an annual fundraiser benefiting ALS United Illinois, and in 2026, so this year alone, supporters have purchased more than, get ready for this, they have purchased more than 2,200 pounds of sausage, raising almost $5,000 for the cause. Now, since adding its charitable mission, the event has raised nearly $25,000 for ALS research and support services while producing over 18,000 pounds of sausages. Can you imagine that? That is incredible. Now, more importantly than all of that, it keeps Justin's memory alive through community, tradition, and action. Dan's story is a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful impact starts with something simple: family, friendship, and a willingness to bring people together. So please join me in welcoming the absolute sausage king himself, Dan Scrementi.
Well, that was a great intro.
Well, you deserve it, man. You are a great guy, and I needed an intro worthy of your awesomeness. So I am glad you approve. It is so awesome to have you here tonight. I cannot wait to share your story with everyone. You and I got to chat a little bit yesterday, and you are just awesome. You're so awesome. So let's dive right into it. I want to go way back to the beginning. Let's start way back there. What was your earliest memories of making sausages with your grandfather? Because we know this is, and I want you to tell everyone a little bit about where this recipe came from.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and thanks for having me. It's fun to be able to tell the story. Anybody who knows me loves to seem to talk about sausages when they run into me, and why not tell the story to everybody? But yeah, growing up, Italian American family, obviously, south side of Chicago. Anybody who has Italian American roots knows that they all have their top secret sausage recipe. And of course, everybody's is better than everybody's neighbor, cousins, aunts and uncles and all that. I'd like to say ours was really good. It kind of just generated in the Chicago Heights area of Illinois in the far south suburbs. It was unique, and most of the time it was made and it was cured. That's the classic Italian roots is that you want to be able to cure it and make like a salami out of it. But my youngest memories of learning how to make it was to test it. You'd kind of cook some of it and eat it before you cured it. And quite honestly, the curing it is a bit of a black art. These old timers kind of know they didn't have a degree in microbiology or anything, but they understood how to cure meat in their garage. Like my grandfather would hang 100 pounds in his garage. He would hang in the refrigerator. I always enjoyed testing the cooked version as a kid. So obviously, once I got a little bit old enough to do it myself, I learned all the tricks of the trade. I learned the recipe, and kind of the story goes on from there, because it truly is a unique sausage, and everybody who's tried it seems to really enjoy it and buys more each and every year, which is kind of how the story has come to fruition.
And by more, I mean, we're talking like 18,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is so much sausage.
Yeah, there's a moment in time every year that I throw this party where I think, what the hell have I done? And usually that moment is, this past year, it was when the delivery truck, like a half-ton truck, whatever it was, is delivering, backing into my driveway at 6 pork. I go like, this might have gotten a little out of control. But it's so flattering to me that every year this thing has become bigger, which tells me it's something that people root for. Party that really started, I always used to say, it was celebrating all that's good, all that's right in the world. It really was meant to just be a positive break, especially in the middle of winter in Chicago. I always have it in March. It's right. Well, there's a couple reasons. One, that temperature is the right temperature to protect the sausage while we're working, since I am in a garage. And that's just how it goes. The other is, it's just the time of year when everybody's been done with winter and ready to get out. And there's nothing going on in the first week of March. There's nothing. So that's kind of how it starts. But every year, everybody who buys sausage orders more, orders it for their neighbors, orders it for their friends. And it's to the point now where I'm going to probably grow this thing into something bigger than what it is, because my driveway can't really hold it anymore.
That is crazy. We're going to dive into that in a second. But okay, you brought up a couple things. I guess there is a science to this that I just do not know. So I did not know temperature mattered. So yeah, okay, temperature.
Yeah.
What are some of the secrets that maybe some of us non-sausage makers would be interested to know about the process?
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes for the first 15 years of the party, we made all the sausage in my garage, mostly from hand. In recent years, I have a professional that's helping me do this, because the orders are of such magnitude. But I have made a lot of that 18,000 pounds that you mentioned. I probably made well over half of it myself. The truth is, some of the tricks of the trade, it's not that hard to make once you've been making it. You can have a KitchenAid at your house, which most people have, with a sausage attachment, and you can make a few pounds before dinner if you want to cook. The couple of the other tricks, you want to have good casing. I'll spare the details of how all the different types of casings are made, but there's a lot of places to find really good casings, and you soak those things for a long time. And the other trick of the trade is that you really want the pork or whatever meat you're using semi-frozen when you're actually going to grind it, because it'll just grind a lot easier in a consumer level grinder. But my personal, tricks when it comes down to the recipe, people want to get cute. There are no secret ingredients, in my opinion. It's all about the tactic of how you make it. It's all about the right elements of simple things going inside of it. Things, salt, pepper, things, how you mix all that is part of it. You'll hear stories of, well, we put cheese in there, or we put, fresh basil in there, or we put these crazy things. And you just have to trust me that the ingredients that go in there should be pure, clean, really, really good. And in the case of Italian sausage, no garlic. That's the rule.
Really?
I roll it.
Well, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was like, is this a rule that I didn't know about?
It's my
rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I saw something. I was doing a little bit of a deep dive into the actual website, because I saw that you said if people come in, and want to start changing up the recipe,
Yeah,
no-go. That's there's rules against this.
there's rules at Sausage Fest. It's kind of like Fight Club.
Fair. Hit us with the Sausage Fest rules.
Yeah, that's the cardinal rule. The first one is you can't change the recipe. And I at the party I only have one level. I don't make a hot or a mild. It's kind of what I would consider. It's spicy, but it's not hot. So that's really the main rule. The next one is it's a party that I have outside at my house, and it's usually inclement weather and it's cold out and all of that kind of stuff. So we're always very, my wife and I and my friends around here who help me run the party. It's like you want people hanging out at it that understand that it's kind of a backyard in the middle of winter party. So that's our other one. There's it's not a super clean, prissy, happy environment. It's a happy environment, I should say, but it's a very Midwestern, very Chicago event, and that's part of its charm.
Love it. And I think we have a fellow Sausage Fest participant chiming in. He's adding to the rules. I don't know if this is a current existing rule or not, but he's claiming no contraband in the sausage.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Garlic is contraband in this world, in this conversation, I guess. Fair.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I had somebody bringing in bags of secret ingredients, and they were put in Sausage Fest jail after that. So,
do they get banned? Is this like they're never allowed to come back to Sausage Fest? Are we taking it to that level?
I'm a nice guy, I guess. At the end of the day, he was welcomed back in with open arms.
That's okay. If you're watching the show, you know who you are, and don't do it again, because season will have you thrown out. You got jail once. That was your warning.
Yeah.
Don't break the rule. That's others. Well, before we dive into, for those, because you and I know what Sausage Fest is, but I bet a whole lot of people are watching the same. What the heck are you guys talking about? Don't worry, we're going to tell you. We are going to tell you. I promise that. But before we get to that, because this whole thing came from a recipe from your grandpa. You said you grew up seeing that sausage hanging there, learning the secrets, all of that he was passing down. Did he have a specific cardinal rule? Was there anything that was his end all be all to the secret of his sausage recipe?
I would say no, except only that the recipe was never shared. And I kind of have a different point of view. I mean, I have shared the recipe with my friends, the literal recipe. I don't blast it out there to everybody. But yeah, he was a lot more protective about it. And his neighbor made wine and he made sausage. So they would trade labor for that. He was alive for, I think maybe like the first 5 or 6 years I was having this party. Actually longer than that, about 8 years or so. And he got a kick out of the whole thing that it turned into. If he could only know now what it became, now 18 years later, it started as such a small thing and now it touches and reaches so many different people for different reasons. But yeah, it's always an homage. I still have my grandfather's face on the logo because I just think he would find it hilarious that there's been 18,000 pounds of it made, and I love that people like it so much. My theory has always been, I don't like when people have traditions and then when they go away, they just talk about how great that tradition used to be. It kind of drives. It's a personal thing. So to me, it's like, well, if you liked the sausage and you want to keep having it, well, you got to learn how to make it.
Love that. How did he feel about you giving that recipe away when the rule was lock it down and don't share it?
Yeah, like I said, I always, I never gave it away, only to my very most trusted friends.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And there was a beautiful moment. I also read this on the website that after all of this, you learned this from your grandpa. You grew up watching him do it, learning. He got to see what Sausage Fest started at and started to grow within those 8 years. And I heard he gave you a pretty massive compliment.
Yeah, right. Every year it was, and I don't, you guys know how it goes in a small family where food is the center of attention. You're never going to get the compliment of like, oh, this was perfect. It's always you hear how to change it. And yeah, towards those last years, he goes, oh, it was really good this year. It was perfect. And I went, oh, that's probably it. So I must have mastered it right before. I'm glad he got to see that. So that was really great. But yeah, that was right before the party really became as big as it is now. And at that time, we were definitely still making all of it. So where now I have a lot more help.
Yeah. And that was right before he passed away,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Passed the
20,
baton.
yeah. You did good research.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, come on now. I got to know all the great stuff. No, it's mostly because I was so curious because I just love the story, which we're about to get into right now, because it is, I just think it is so beautiful. And the fact that you took something that is, like you said, within your family tradition, and why keep that locked in your family? Why not
Right.
share it? Everyone put smiles on their faces. I think that is so incredible. I wish that my family would have grew up next to you guys. It could have been your grandpa's other neighbor because my family's Italian, and they would make the homemade pot. My dad would tell stories of his grandma and grandpa with he'd go downstairs and there would just be pasta noodles hanging on all the clotheslines everywhere. You guys could have had the pasta, the sausage, and the wine.
You have everything going.
One
Yeah.
heck of a party.
It is, and it's amazing how many people kind of yearn to be part of traditions like
Yeah.
this. Like, and that's part of why the party has taken off so much. Like, over these years, there's been little kids who come to this party who've now done it, let's say 10 years. And then my hope is it's like, well, that's had some kind of imprint on people's lives, even though a tiny little piece.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of why so many people come to it is, they want to feel those stories that they've read about and heard about, from making wine, pasta, and all their other cultures have all sorts of things that they make as well. And this is mine, and it just suits well for the city of Chicago, and it just matches to the spirit of kind of where we live and who we are. So that's what I really like about it.
I love that. And so, like I said, we know what's going on. We know what Sausagefest is, but for anyone new that's watching and doesn't, tell them, what is Sausagefest? How did this get started? Let's take that story back to the beginning as well.
Yeah, well, in your intro did a very great job of kind of outlining how it happened. But like I said, I grew up learning how to make it, so I always would make a little bit for myself. And oftentimes, when I first got married, my wife would help me make some of it, or I would make some at home and just have a few pounds. And one night I was out with a few of my buddies, and they all said, "Hey, that sausage is really good. Like, can you make me some?" And anybody who makes sausage, like, it's a lot of work. You got to prepare all the stuff. You got to get all the gear out. So that year, I remember saying, like, "Hey, why don't you guys come over on this day? You bring your own pork or whatever, and pork butts, and like we'll make it that day, and I'll show you how to make it." So that's like year one, and it's literally like 6 guys, one of which was the one that commented there on YouTube. So he gets founder status.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he knows the rules. He's serious about
the rules. He helped write the rules. Yeah, but that's kind of that's year one. So then in year two, well, other people found out that happened, and the same thing happened. Well, hey, I want to make a little bit more. I gave some away. A lot of people gave it away. So then every year I've innovated it one way or another. Like the first year, I think with those 6 guys, it probably took us 12 hours. It took us forever. Every year we would do something to make it more efficient, because we just wanted to also hang out and have a few beers and have some laughs and all that. So, what the first year we had bring your own butts, we called it, like people had to bring their and over time I had a butcher help us. So we all supplied all the pork from one place because we didn't want to commingle pork, So it turned into every year getting more and more efficient. But the trick of it was every year more and more people would hear about it and want to join in. And the party itself, I cook hundreds of pounds of sausage. I think we serve about 400 or 500 sandwiches every year at the party. So like the party itself now has become like a nice break, and people want to hang at that. So I would say when I moved to Chicago and the party got bigger and bigger, once I passed 1,000 pounds a year, I kind of upgraded. I put my ordering system online. I found a really great sausage company that helps me. He's a partner in everything I'm doing, because he does this because he knows it's for ALS. He's got, he makes sausages for stores and everything else, but he does this one-off for me every year at a very professional level. Well, that allowed me to grow the party, because now it's being made in a proper environment, and it's being freezer packed very professionally. And he and I work together on getting that recipe dialed in to manage 2,000 plus pounds a year. So with that, every year the party kind of would change and morph, and there would be different. It's a gathering of my friends every year. So as we're all getting older, there's just been different themes every year that have kind of come through it. So there's always a community approach to it. And that's kind of how and I know we'll get to that part too, but that's, how we ended up making the charitable component to the party when my friend Justin had passed away. And I was close with Justin through his battle with ALS. Justin was a tough dude. He was our fraternity brother, most Chicago-y guy I've ever met, U.S. Special Forces, just all around giant personality, this guy. And he loved that we had this party, and every year he would order sausage, and we would, and as Justin was fighting his battle with ALS, I would make sure I got his sausage to him. But in 2019, he had ordered a bunch of sausage and didn't make it to the party. Justin had passed before the party had happened. So that particular year, we raffled off Justin's sausages, which I knew would have made him so happy because he had a great sense of humor, hilarious guy. So we're going to raffle off Justin's sausages, and I got in touch with Sarah over at ALS United, and donated a small amount of money. So that first year for the raffled sausage. But then after it, and then talking to Sarah and getting to know more about ALS and what was going on, my friends and I go, you know what, this party is missing one piece, and it was this charitable component gives the community more to rally around. And if we're going to have all these people come to my house, I'm not doing this as a business. I have a real job every day. I swear it has nothing to do with sausages. So if we're going to have all these people coming here, why don't we see if we're truly going to try to put good into the world, why don't we try to raise a few bucks for ALS? And that's kind of how I think that once we added that component to it, the party really took on a better meaning beyond just people looking forward to ordering this stuff every year.
That's so awesome. What has it been like for you to sit back and see that? Like, so it started with 6 guys, 6 friends in a garage, to now this past year. Hit us with some of these stats because they're incredible. You had a record-breaking year this year.
Yeah.
Like to see it go from 6 people to what it is today.
Yeah. So I've had 400 people, I believe, through my estimates, come through the party each and every year. 400 Sausagefest customers, you could say. We had a few hundred here at the house last year, just through the day. We served about 500 sandwiches in a day. But in total, we've made 18,000 pounds of sausage since I started the party, and raised about $25,000 for ALS, like we've mentioned in that time. What's unique about it, and I always try to tell people, like, you can't really hide your personality to the world, so like when I first started those 6 guys and us, like, this was just kind of a goofy thing I did. I didn't tell anybody about it. And then over time I opened it up to people I work with, or people in in other environments and other communities that I'm in. And the change that's happened from having this party grow to that is what I said earlier. It's like wherever I go, somebody's talking about sausage, somebody's sending me pictures of sausage. I just love it. Like, I just think it's hilarious, and I've embraced it. So, I work in like an executive environment, and I'll be traveling for work. I'll be out of the country, and somebody will go, "Hey, like, you're the sausage guy," because they've heard about it from something, and it kind of lightens the mood. It's just like, yeah, this is a thing I do, and I'm flattered that people come from far away, never from where you're from Bali, but people have traveled from out of the country and to come to the party, and I just think that's super cool. Like, it's very meaningful. But yeah, it's definitely become part of my personality. That's for sure.
You are the Sausage King. That's what we were talking about, right? What are some of these fun nicknames that people are throwing at you other than Sausage King?
Yeah, I get that one a lot. I get Abe Froman a lot from from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But yeah, I had a guy. I was out for work, and somebody goes, "Hey, man, is there a sausage in your pocket?" Like I was walking by, I go, "Like what?" I go, "I'm got to be the only guy walking around in this world where I get stuff like that thrown my direction." But yeah, I had somebody the other day there. They called me Danny the Sausage, like some kind of mobster nickname. But yeah, it was cracking me up. So I'm always flattered, and then I always tell the company that helps me make the sausage, because they're really the sausage kings. They make like, tons. And I go, "Hey, my friends think I'm the sausage king, so we can let that. I'll take that identity on."
Yeah, you are. We proclaimed it. We've said it on the show. Now it is true. There's no going back.
Yeah.
It is a thing now. Did your wife have any idea what she was getting
into
when she married you? How does she feel about all of this?
Ironically, is a microbiologist. So at the beginning, was a little concerned about the conditions in which we were doing this. And she used to help me make it, but the first few years she would get the heck out of the house because we would take over, and it was a guy's night kind of thing. Okay. I think in recent years she's helped me run it in a big way. A lot of her friends are here too. A lot of my kids' friends. Like a lot of I'm looking forward to the year where maybe my kids are old enough where their friends can help run it, because like it's a lot of work. But yeah, and it's kind of takes on its life of its own. Like she helps me, and my friends help. We make apparel, we make logos. There's all sorts of stuff we do for it, and because that's part of the fun of the party. And I think the name itself is a little ridiculous, but that's also part of its charm. And but yeah, I see people. My goal is to be traveling outside of the state and run into somebody wearing a Sausagefest T-shirt, and I'll know that I've made it.
You've made it. You know what? I'm gonna have to get myself one, and I will take it to Bali, and I will wear it around Bali.
Yeah.
Let's take this international.
Yeah, and I've considered, it's so flattering every year that it's grown and that people truly like it. So next year I'm going to work on more distribution points, more ways for people to pick it up, because for every pound that's purchased, I raise funds for ALS out of it. So I would like to be able to increase the party and its scope, and its reach. So yeah, I'm appreciative to get to tell the story here. I hope when March comes around next year that everybody remembers that they might want to try some Scrementi sausage.
It's true. Is it so everyone that comes to Sausagefest, is it all just your friends and family? Is this open to the public? How do people get into this?
Yeah, so it's kind of expanded. It's friends of friends, So okay. Back to, what are the rules of the party? It's like anybody who thinks standing around in my driveway, eating sausages and having some beers and meeting great people thinks that's a great day out. Those people are welcome to come to the party. Like if you think that sounds like torture, then you're not going to like it. And I even have, it's kind of become more of a marketplace anymore. I have my wife's family raises chickens and does all this stuff. We sell eggs at the party. I have a guy who makes hot sauce. He sells hot sauce at the party. We have a friend that's making pickles. He wants to so everybody that it's turning more into that now too, which is neat. And people donate stuff, and whatever I sell, we give the proceeds to ALS. But this past couple of years, a friend of mine from my hometown is the president of the Homebrew Beer Association in Chicago. So they come with 12 kegs of homebrewed, amazing craft beer and mead and all this crazy stuff. It's really, like as I say, stuff like this is getting added each and every year, and it makes me look forward to March. As much as I like June, I'm not gonna lie, June's pretty great.
No, but March, this is crazy. I had no idea it was that big. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen these comments. I knew this was gonna happen. My dad is all in. He's in. He's throwing it in. He's gonna be asking for the address. He is gonna be sausages are his absolute favorite thing in the whole world. Yeah. Same with my grandparents. They're watching the show right now. Yeah. I can guarantee you as soon as we end the show, my grandparents are going to be saying, how do we buy some of this sausage? So for anyone watching this, by the way, don't worry. I will hit this at the end of the show too, as well. Plug to remind everyone. But for those that are asking that question right now, how do they get their hands on some of your sausages? How do they? Is this only
so I only do in March, at least today. So my goal, we'll see if we end up making some increased runs, but I do it in March, which is kind of part of the charm of the party. It's people are able to order from basically December through March.
Okay.
And what happens is people order a year's worth right then and there. And I ship it nationwide now. We have a professional shipping company helping us pack it and ship it. So we end up shipping a lot each and every year, probably a few 100 pounds each year, all over the country, which is really awesome. But yeah, it's if you go to scrementi.com, so it's my last name, SCHREMENTI. It tells the story. It also is where you go to order the sausage when it's open. But what happens is everybody orders a bunch. So people will come and order 70 pounds, some people, because they've learned they need that much to get through the year. And it's freezer packed so well that it actually lasts an incredibly long time. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah. So then what happens is like when people run out in the middle of the summer, they're almost trading it like it's a commodity or some sort. Yeah. Like, hey, I got 10 pounds left. Yeah, this happens every year. I'm actually out, which is kind of crazy, but
so it didn't make it that long for you. You only got.
But I know how to make my own, so I might, who knows?
Fair. Don't say those things here, though. You're going to tease everybody because then everyone's going to be. They don't want to wait until March.
Yeah.
They're going to be hitting you up. What is maybe the furthest place you've sent sausages to?
Well, I work in the casino gaming business, so I have a lot of friends in Las Vegas, so I ship a ton of it to Las Vegas. I also have friends in Seattle. We've shipped it to. I can't get it out of the country because it's meat. I haven't figured out how to. At least I would like to figure that out. I had orders in Canada and I couldn't ship them because I didn't know. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Fair.
I ship a lot to the West Coast. I joke around with my one friend. I said, "You're like my California distributor." So
he's the sausage dealer.
He is a dealer. Yes.
Everyone's got to have one of those on speed dial.
Yep.
I love it. We'll throw up the website. Make sure to throw that website up in the comment section so that you guys can see it. It's his last name. Throw that up there at some point.
Yep.
It'll be up there, guys. I promise. Corinne will toss it up there for you. And then I will remind you at the end of the show, but you heard it. These go fast. So you're going to have to get your orders in. Sounds like it opens it up in December.
Yeah, so, usually around then. And then if we end up doing, and anybody can come to my website at any time and send a note. There's a subscription note on the bottom and I'll add them to the mailing list. And I love the mailing list. That's one of my favorite parts of Sausagefest. Anybody who follows it, the marketing is great. It's funny. It's meant to cheer people up during, again, these, getting through the day. And but anybody who goes on there, I'll make sure they're added to the list so they know.
Love that. Now, as this has been growing, I mean, honestly, what do you think it is that's bringing people back year after year? This is what, almost 20 years now you're coming up on?
Yeah, coming up on 20.
Yes.
I think, like I said before, it's a combination of a few things. One, I think the most flattering part is everybody actually likes the product. It's different. It's not like anything you can buy in a store. That's the best way to describe it. It has a unique set of flavors. It's basic ingredients: salt, pepper, paprika, coriander. That's pretty much it. How it's all mixed in there is part of the charm. I think that's the main part. I think the other part is they like being part of the story. Like, it's a tradition, it's a gathering, it's a fun thing to say that you're going to do. It's very community driven. And it's still kind of this private, hootenanny kind of thing in somebody's backyard. But yet they hear about it and want to be part of that group. And so I think that's part of it. And I think for some people, maybe they didn't grow up with traditions like this in their family. And it's fun to say you go every year to a party like this. So a lot of times people bring back other friends each and every year. So yeah, and then I think, the last part of it is, now that it has a wider reach, now that I can ship it and things like that, I think it's just attracted more people who make it a destination each year. They go, I'm going to try to get to Chicago to do this. So it's always very flattering.
Dan, how cool is it that you're someone's destination? Being on their calendars as we've got to make it to Chicago.
Yes.
For Sausagefest.
I always joke, it's busy. people have kids, they have stuff, they have going on. I always say, I don't know if I would go if I was invited. So I'm always flattered when they do. And yeah, I have businesses that have helped me sponsor it now. They're helping give me prizes, small stuff. And like, it's just kind of, I can tell it's at that point where I got to put a little effort into really growing it into the next thing. And if we do that and we do it right, you know, my partnership and my awareness for ALS is going to stay as part of the story. And I want to keep growing that reach as big as we can do it.
Yeah. And with that, as you do continue to grow, I mean, at what point is it always going to be at your house? Is that part of the tradition? What if it outgrows that?
Yeah, we're in negotiations. Let's just say, yeah, we are having some conversations about maybe moving it somewhere that's a little more feasible to have it. Part of the charm, I live in the Edison Park neighborhood of Chicago. It's like, it'd be tough to move it too far away from here because the people from around here really make it something. But yeah, we are having some discussions about that because I think it's getting there. Last year too, we had weather. I don't know if anybody. So last year it was 70 degrees the day before Sausagefest. If you recall, that first week of March, it got really warm. So that's the death knell for, we can't have warmth for Sausagefest. So thankfully the next morning it was cool enough to have the party. But yeah, so I'm always worried about the weather every year. You know, rain. Definitely, that was the first time for warmth. But hey, it's been a weird year.
Okay. Yeah, how are your neighbors loving you? I mean, I can't even imagine looking out the window and just seeing 400 people coming in and out.
The neighbors are all part of it. They all show up. Super cool. That way, this neighborhood embraces. It's a very Irish neighborhood that I live in, by the way. And so my house for a month has Italian flags all over it. And I love St. Patrick's Day too. Don't get me wrong. But they know Sausagefest is coming in my neighborhood. Once you see the flag go on in front of my house, it's coming.
This is so much fun, and I cannot even believe I didn't know that this existed. We need to put in a word with the mayor. There needs to be a Sausagefest day dedicated to both your grandpa and Justin. I just think this is such a cool story. You told us a little bit about Justin, but why was it so important for you to do this for him? Of all the things you could have done in his honor, why was this the thing? Yeah,
a few things. You know, when Justin was diagnosed with ALS, he was tough as nails. Justin was always just a tough as nails guy. I mean, he was the guy. If you were going to get yourself into a bar fight, not that ever happened, Justin was the guy you wanted with you. You know, 2 tours of duty, U.S. Special Forces. I don't know anybody tougher than Justin, but he's a larger than life Chicago guy. He grew up in Bloomington, Normal. Moved to Chicago where he was a building manager for like one of the skyscrapers downtown. His dream was to live downtown, go to all the Cubs games. I'm a White Sox fan, but I cut him slack. Go to all the Cubs games.
I thought we could have been friends.
I know. Everybody's got their thing. You know, he was at all the Hawks games, all the everything. You know, some of those pictures you put up where, you know, he got to throw the first pitch. He was on there as part of ALS, I think, set that up, ALS United. So as Justin was, you know, battling with ALS, he was very active and very optimistic, positive. He worked with the organization to be an ambassador to whatever level that he could. Did a lot of interviews, did a lot of work. Never took a negative approach to it. So always had a positive attitude. And this party's kind of the same vibe. So I knew, as sad as we were that Justin had passed, I was like, what better way to talk about him every year and to live on? We're now, 7 years later, where every year I get to tell the story of Justin and do this, and every year I'm going to keep doing it as long as I'm able to continue to have the party. It's going to be in Justin's honor, and we'll make whatever donation we can. I always joke around with my buddies. I'm like, probably by the time we're all old and gray, there's just going to be 6 of us in the garage again. People will be tired of this party, but we'll still tell Justin's story and raise some money for ALS.
Look, if I'm being honest, it doesn't sound like that is happening anytime soon. So buckle up, my friend. I think you are going to keep getting hundreds of new people coming every single year. I cannot wait to see what the numbers for 2027.
I have to get a bigger lawn if I'm going to keep doing it outside. Yeah. They killed the grass. Every year we kill the grass with this party, and I'm like, it's worth it.
Really?
Yeah. My wife's one condition was we had to get a porta potty a few years back. I go, that's fair. That's fair.
I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of people to be coming in and out of your house. Bless your hearts for
it is.
all of that. Yeah. Literally, bless your hearts and the cleaning that is involved in all of that.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, but I do enjoy doing it, and I have a busy life like everybody else does. But like every year, I've gotten so good at running this thing that I'm like, okay, it's time. Let's get it going.
Mm-hmm. Well, like now you're raising the next generation. Are you really doing this with your kids as well, teaching them this recipe? Are they in the whole process? So they haven't learned the art of making the stuff yet because they're a little spoiled because dad makes it. But my son's a junior in high school. I've enlisted, he's on a hockey team. I've enlisted his hockey teammates every year now to be my labor. So at least I'm like, hey, I shouldn't have to unload the truck and move the stuff around. And so it's getting there, but they haven't figured out. I think it's going to be maybe another 5-10 years where they figure out, you know what, we want to run this party. And then all us old guys can sit around and, enjoy the sausage.
Enjoy the beers and the sausage.
Okay, truth. Who is the best at the grill? Who's the best grilling these sausages?
So I got to give credit to the guy who commented here. Mikey Lalagos is my grill man, always has been. He's a master at it, but now that the party lasts so long, we have shifts. There's like 3 or 4 of us that'll grill because I think we literally grill for 5 hours. I mean, it takes all day. It's fun.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, big shout out to him. Thanks for grilling up these delicious sausages and keeping everybody happy and fed. That is a very important role. Very important role. So that is incredible. On the bandwagon of tradition, outside of this, I mean, we've talked a lot about the Sausage Fest and that recipe and that tradition. Are there any other traditions that you're bringing maybe into your family or that your family has passed down outside of this that's important to you?
Yeah, I mean, for me growing up, it was always around food. I feel like any tradition, worth doing is around food. I will say though, like my kids have kind of grown up in a different environment, not as I'm 100% Italian. My wife isn't. We have different foods that we have our traditions for. I got to say the tradition that's taken me, got me most interested out here. I love to play music. I'm a big musician. One of my friends who I invited to this party has a party where he invites almost an equal amount of musicians into his house the week after St. Patrick's Day to play music. So it's kind of like this party has helped bridge a gap to another party where they go, hey, I'm going to come to yours, you come to mine. And I love that, so it's like, as much as I want to say it's all these other foods that we cook, I think the next big tradition that I love in my life is music.
Awesome. I'm seeing some type of a beautiful marriage happening at Sausagefest of live music, especially since you got the hookup with some musicians in your friend group.
Also been discussed. Yeah.
I like it. I'm loving the guitars. The guitars behind you. What is your instrument of choice?
I'm a guitarist. Yeah, I play a lot of guitar. And I always say if we're going to play, though, in the neighborhood, they all want to play Irish music, which I'm not that great at. So if we want to play music, we're going to have to play Italian music at Sausagefest. It's a little harder.
Fair. Do you know any Italian things on the guitar? Not to put you on the spot, but let's put you on the spot.
Figure it out. The Tarantina on the mandolin. I think I can do it.
Let's do it. Why the heck not, Dan? Go for it. You want to play us a little something, something?
Oh, on the guitar?
Yeah.
Come on, that's too much pressure. Come on.
No such thing. But the Sausage King. What are you talking about? It's fair enough. Fair. Next time. Next time I will give you some. I didn't give you a heads up. I really did just throw you on the spot right here. But those guitars just look so beautiful behind you.
Yeah, and I do. This is my little work from home station. I love it down here. When I'm not doing any work on Sausagefest, I'm definitely playing music.
I love that. I love it so much. Yeah, we'll have to have you back so you can, because we're going to need the updates now moving forward on all the great new records. It sounds like every year you're breaking the record. So I love seeing that continue to grow.
Like I say, anybody who wants to be on the mailing list, they come to scrementi.com. And in March, you'll be hearing from me right before it's like Christmas, and then it's Sausagefest season. It's and we get those orders loaded in usually over the course of a couple months, and there's usually surprises along the way. We're selling items, we're selling other things, but and I'd like to see if I could figure out maybe a way where there's other pickup points, like I said earlier, for people that can't get to here. So maybe that'll be a task for next year's growth.
Cool. Yeah, that actually leads me to what do you want for the future of Sausagefest? What's your hope for this moving forward?
I truly, if I have an end goal, I would love to get these things sold in stores at some point in time in my life. I think the sausage is good enough, and I think the story is good enough. I feel like this has been a test lab, that I have a product that's good enough to go in a store and then have real reach and other reasons to help benefit the cause that we're trying to do here. So that would be like my grand goal. But in between there, I think we got to a ton of sausage. I think we got to get to 2 tons. I think that's the real kicker. So 4,000 pounds in at one party. And I swear, even last year, I shut it off at 2,200, and I think I could have sold another 600 or 700 pounds before the party ended. So I bet you next year we can crack 3,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. This is just so cool. What do you think, honestly, if Justin was here today?
I love it. Yeah, I think he would think it's hilarious. And he wanted to come even that last year. I remember he's like, he's communicating with us and saying, I'd like to figure out how to get there. And it's just, it wasn't a great environment. It's in the backyard, it's on the grass, it's all that kind of stuff. I know he would love everything about this because it's just a great homage to a giant personality. And like, again, as sad as we all are about it, we always take a really humorous approach to it because I just think that's part of the fun. And I think that's what he would love.
I love that. And speaking of the humor in it, I mean, how did he handle his ALS battle? I know you guys were all close, your friend group.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like seeing somebody that you love and care about go through this?
Interesting experience for me because I hadn't known anybody prior to that had gone through the battle with ALS. It was kind of a slow burn for him. It was, like I said, he had a great attitude all along the way. As long as he could continue to go out, he would go out. We'd take him out, have some beers and go get some food with him. When he was kind of in his apartment there towards the end, we would just go see him there, and he loved that because he just wanted to be with his buddies. He didn't want to talk about it over and over for hours on end. He wanted to talk about sports and stuff like Sausagefest and food and anything Chicago. So, but yeah, he opened my eyes to it. And I would say what's also been interesting about this party, I'm shocked how many people who come to the party that ALS has touched them in some way, shape, or form. It's like it's touched a lot of people's lives in different ways, whether it's their parents, aunts, uncles, friends. And every year I throw this thing, every year I hear new stories about that exactly. So I think he would be happy to know that he started as an ambassador with the organization, and that our friends, his friends, and I continue to try to keep that going for him.
Wow, it's such a big yet such a small world at the same time.
Yeah,
just like you said, right? As soon as you're opened up to the world of ALS, it's crazy how many people around you.
Yes.
affected, right? 90-90. I mean, if you're part of ALS United, you know what that means. But yeah, every 90 minutes, someone's diagnosed with ALS. Every 90 minutes, someone loses that battle. And if you really think about that, that is, we were on here before the show started. So in the course of us being on here together, one new person is being told the words, you have ALS, and one person is losing that battle. So it is absolutely horrible. What has being a part of this now, being a part of the ALS United family, knowing Justin, being inspired by him, meeting all these people at Sausagefest that have those connections, and you guys are all fighting together to raise money for this cause. How has that impacted your life?
For me, the stories that I've heard have been the most eye-opening part. I've met a few people along the way to hear their versions of their stories. A lot of the kinds of stories that get shared on your show, by the way. And I think it motivates you to want to be more involved and help. Every year I make this donation, and I think I always, when I contact Sarah at ALS United, I always feel kind of bad. I wish it was more money, because I'm sure there's donors out in this world that donate, huge amounts of money, which is amazing because you need them to help kind of fund this cause. And every year she's always so kind about it, of saying, hey, every dollar helps, and that we're just doing this kind of out of nowhere to start, out of the inspiration from Justin, but through selling of sausage of all things, that it makes a difference. So every year I want to get more involved some way, shape, or form. And it certainly starts with, trying to raise more money.
I love it. And it's true. Every dollar does help. And it's not just $1 or $2 you're donating, right? You have raised $25,000. It makes such a massive impact on those. I think you've seen some of the stories on the show, and you've heard firsthand from people that have worked with ALS United. I mean, everything that we provide is free of charge. We are helping them, providing services, providing support groups, providing clinics, providing information, helping them get to doctors, equipment. All of that is free of charge because of your donations and everybody like you that is contributing. So seriously, from the absolute bottom of my heart, and I know everyone here, from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you so much for what you're doing, and for everybody that shows up to Sausagefest, that buys a sausage, that donates, that sponsors your event. Everybody is a part of making that happen. This is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's good to know. And it's, it just inspires you to want to, like I say, donate, raise more. And I think we have a chance to do that. If I can hit 3,000 pounds of sausage, that's more proceeds to be able to donate to the cause. So that'll be the mission for next year.
I love it. Goals. We're going to speak it into truth. We put it out there, 3,000. I mean, heck, I want to even put out there, because I like to be ambitious, 3,500.
Yeah. Right. Well, the 2-ton goal would be 4,000. That's really where we want to get.
Okay. So then we're just shooting straight for that. We're just going to double. Let's just double it. 2027 is going to be the year of 2 tons, 4,000 pounds of sausage. Everyone watching the show, I'm sure most of you here are part of Sausagefest, but if you are not, get your booties out to Chicago in March. Join. We put the website up there. You can see it right there. Make sure that you save that, bookmark it, head over there so that you can get in the newsletter. You can keep updated. Opens in December. Get your orders in. Come out and visit Dan. Come, hey, and you're so awesome to just open up your house and give out your address. So just come at Dan's house. Come chill, have some delicious sausages. Now, Dan, what do you want people to take away? So all of these amazing people, all of these 400 people that are coming in and out of your house for Sausagefest, when they walk away, what do you want them to walk away from Sausagefest with? Other than sausages, that is.
Yeah, other than a bag of sausages, I would say don't let traditions die out. That's kind of what I'm saying. It doesn't take much to turn something into a tradition. My wife always jokes with me, if I do something twice, I'm like, all right, now it's tradition. We're doing that all the time. So it doesn't take much for it to die out. And you just have to put a little energy in sometimes, and you don't know who might want to get involved with that, So this started with a little bit of energy and has turned into, with a little bit of effort after that, has turned into something special that will carry on for a long time. Now it really is a tradition after 18 years. So that's kind of would be my 2 cents about that. You got to put a little good into the world, because it's hard enough on a day in and day out basis. So you kind of got to break that monotony once in a while with something.
I love that. And then what I want to end on, I don't know if you've seen any of these past shows, but I really love, especially when we talk about amazing individuals, amazing loved ones that we've lost to this battle. What can we do? What challenge can we send out there to all the viewers or anyone that might stumble upon this episode of Sunflower Hour? What can they do in honor of Justin? Something that would make him smile up there in heaven, something we can do in his memory to just keep his story alive.
Yeah, I mean, to me, on the ALS front, it's the more you ask about it, the more you realize how many lives it's touched. It's easy to hear about these causes and not kind of understand that they're actually affecting people right now, right this second. So I think that's the easiest thing to do, is to try to bring up discussions when you have that opportunity to do so, to see whose lives it's touched. But to honor Justin, hey, I heard about this one situation where, they've carried on this guy's memory through a sausage party. I just think anything that makes people smile about it is positive. So it's as heavy as the topic is, and the battle with ALS can be, it's about keeping people's memories alive. That is part of the positive side of this whole thing.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Dan, you are the absolute sausage king. I love that we got to share this story. I'm so pumped. I can't wait to see what your next Sausage Fest does and what this grows into. Is there anything you want to say to everyone before we let you go and start prepping the next beautiful update for your Sausage Fest newsletter?
Yeah. Like I say, just go to scrementi.com and you can sign up for the newsletter. And for those home sausage making people at home, just try to avoid the garlic being thrown into that sausage. It's just not necessary.
What? I have to, there. I have a serious question here. What is it? Is it just you don't like garlic, or does garlic do something not great to this?
Yeah, it's kind of like at that point, all of the other ethnicities' sausages have garlic in it. So Polish sausage, any of the German sausages, Austrian, and a lot of these things, they all have garlic. That to me is the differentiator. It's like, and you'll hear about Italians putting in, orange peel and things like that. Like, but like, it just doesn't need a lot of secret wacky ingredients. Put the good stuff in there.
Okay. Fair enough. That is absolutely fair enough. And yeah, I am so pumped. I'm looking through some of these pictures because I think it's just really cool. I mean, you guys come on, look at that. Yeah. Look at that as soon as it loads on the internet. Don't worry, my mouth is watering over here. Clearly the internet doesn't want us to share.
That's like the second year up top with the 6 of us making sausages there.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And we already saw you manning the grill, which I think is so darn amazing. But you look right at home there. You look absolutely right at home there, doing your thing. Look at those delicious sausages. So everybody, literally mark your calendar. The beginning of March, you want to head over to scrementi.com. It is right up there in the comment section. Make sure you jump on and reserve your spot. Get your orders in. People are ordering 70 pounds, so you better hurry up before they go. And I want to throw this up one more time. I know we already saw this one, but I just think it's a beautiful way to end with not only did your grandpa start all of this, but also the man that led you to sharing his story.
Yeah, that's a happy guy right there, right? Larger than life.
Larger than life. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. Well, Dan, you are fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing. I cannot wait to try your sausages. I cannot wait to throw some of those up on the grill. I know my family's going to be so sad that we have to wait until March, but we are going to mark our calendars, and we are going to be one of those first orders coming through.
I always tell people that with every year, there will always be another Sausage Fest. So, I'm looking forward to getting it out there. And thank you for the opportunity to tell the story. It's fun.
Always. And I'm going to have you back on because we're going to need the update as this continues to grow. Yeah. And while we were talking, I was thinking about it. I'm like, gosh, why did I think of this too late? No joke. I would have literally said, hey, I'm coming over. Open the door. I'm coming over. And we need to be in the kitchen.
Do a live feed.
Yes, live. Well, we are making some sausages. Yeah. We're going to talk.
Yeah, we can do that next time. That'd be fun.
So much fun, Dan. You were such an awesome sport. So you are the best. Thank you again. And we will see you very soon.
Thank you very much.
Always. Have a good one. You guys, like I said, all things sausage. tonight. So get those grills ready. I think that a great way to also honor Justin while we are waiting for 2027 Sausage Fest to come back in March, go grab yourself some sausages. They're not going to be nearly as good as the Scrementi sausages, but go grab them and have a sausage in honor of Justin and smile and be around the people that you love and keep those traditions going, all in the name of family, community, and just putting good out there in the world, as Dan would say. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you learned some great things, learned some tips so you can go get in the kitchen and make your own sausages and get out there on the grill. And I want to see all of you here. Make sure you join us next month for our live Seasoned Sunflower Hour in July. We will see you then. But until then, everyone, be bright and shine your light. Have a great one.